Buenos to the dias. Happy Tuesday, everybody. You know who here. Well, I'm just letting my truck warm up on my way to work. Serve my time. It's my Thursday. And it's going to be really hot today, up in the 90s. So it's going to be a long day at work, I'm pretty sure. Oh, and I just bumped my head. Dang it. On my way to my truck. Oh well. I was talking yesterday about, how we do need the, Mexican, Hispanic people here. They do help a lot. And I was explaining, how they can do a lot of work that, a lot of people can't, because, they're just, built for working in certain environments more. But, I'm 55 years old. I've been on the planet for a while. And I ain't gonna lie, I've worked with a lot of Hispanics. It's like they're complete opposite, man. You got these Hispanic people that work really hard. They have really good work ethic. They can tolerate a lot of work and heat and environment, and just they can tolerate a lot. But then I'd say like the other half are like some of the laziest people I've ever encountered in my life. So like when I was talking about, Mexican people, Hispanic, whatever you want to call it, they got like really hard workers, and then the people that are super duper lazy, okay? Because, I have worked with all people, I guess, are like that. I can't just say Mexicans, but I've experienced also a lot of Mexicans that are just fucking lazy, really lazy, So, you can't just generalize people, I guess, so much. There's lazy people with every race. I've experienced lazy people with every race, hardworking people with every race. They're all people. But, I just wanted to reiterate that there is lazy Mexicans out there too. And I've worked with a lot of them, So, it looks like the protests are chilling out. And I was watching some videos, and apparently the LA protest, when it's all said and done, they caused almost $20 million in damage. Okay, that's lame, dude. That's messed up. What kind of a flag is that? Freaking Mexican and half American. Mexican American flag. Never seen that one before. But anyways, they did almost $20 million in damage just in LA. And that's not cool, because that's going to come out of our taxes, okay? That's going to come out of our taxes. That's just like city property damage, okay? That's not including people's personal property and businesses and stuff and their cars. That's just the damage they did to LA, the public property, okay? And that's just ridiculous, man. Just because they want to have their voices heard, it's going to cost the taxpayers almost $20 million. So, that's part of the reason why I don't like it when people protest like that. It just doesn't work out for really anybody, So, hopefully all those stupid protests are done. They got their voices heard, obviously, because the mainstream media, was playing it. All the freaking internet was playing it. We all heard it. We all saw it. We all understand. And nothing's going to change. It's just going to be a big waste and inconvenience. Big waste of money and a big inconvenience for people. Just so they can get out there and cry and scream and dance and laugh and, you know, whatever they're doing, you know, just to get their point across. So, you know, I don't know, man. It really just doesn't seem to be very productive as far as what a protest can do, you know. You know what really, what should happen is a counter protest, you know. All the people that are legal and support this country need to step up now and do a protest. Even though I'm not into protest much, but just to show that we're here too. And that's the problem with you know, MAGA and people on the right. We don't band together as much as people on the left. We don't. And so a lot of the time our voices only come out when it's voting time, and that's it. That's our voice. But I think it would be beneficial for us on the right, or MAGA, whatever you want to call it, to, you know, do peaceful protests, probably, you know, just to show that we're here too. You know, they don't get to see us, you know, on the news as much. You know, there was some people out there at these, you know, No Kings protests that were not supporting it, and those people, you know, got verbally attacked, physically attacked, and you can really see the nastiness of these people come out. Okay, and I was watching some video, and these people were just being ridiculous, nasty, like just bad people, man. Really, the way they talk about Trump, the way they talk about Trump supporters, and the person sitting there doing the interviews just really acting like bad children, like really bad children. Immature, stupid, ignorant, hypocrite assholes and bitches. That's how they were acting. Occasionally they would come across, you know, someone normal that could actually articulate why they're there, but most of the people were either giving them the middle finger, cussing at them, basically, you know, giving the people that don't support that the Third Reich, man, you know. And you know, it just solidifies why Trump is in there and why people like me don't support those kind of people on the left, because I don't want no part of those people. Not the way they act. Nope. And it's like day and night, man, the way the right acts and the way the left acts. It's like there's a total difference in the way they act. I need air. But, you know, I'm really not for protesting on either side. I really am not. But it would be nice to see maybe one gathering. I wouldn't even want to call it a protest. I would say just a showing of people, okay? To let them know that we're here and we can show ourselves besides just the voting ticket, you know. It would be nice to see a showing of the people on the right, okay? But that's just not gonna happen, because it just doesn't happen. It only seems to happen for the people on the left, because it seems like they're more organized when it comes. They're organizing things to show what they're fighting for, you know. Where the people on the right, we're not as organized. We don't we just don't plan things like they do on the left, you know. And which I think it would be nice to see a gathering of people on the right, you know, a big showing to show them, hey, look, yeah, we saw you, but look at us. We're 2 or 3 times more than you people. That's what I'd like to see, just to put them, you know, put it in perspective. Because, you know, there's a lot of us out here on the right. We're here, but they just don't see us because we don't do protest. We don't. And we don't do gatherings. We don't kick and scream and cry and throw fits like they do on the left. We don't. So, you know, it makes me a little upset that, you know, I have to endure watching these idiots kick and scream and cry and be nasty people. I have to see that and endure it and deal with my, you know, emotions that come from that. And you know, it'd be nice to see something come from the right for a change, so, you know, they can see us, you know, they can see their opposition, you know. But I doubt that'll happen. You know, we'll just have to wait until Trump does a rally, or, you know, the voting, you know, it's time to vote again. So, you know, it is what it is, man. But, you know, hopefully someone will get something together where we can show our faces to these people, our support from the right. You know, our team. And I know there's a lot of us out there because, you know, I don't know, over 70 million people voted for Trump. I'm almost, you know, like mid 750 million or something like that. I mean, it was a lot of people voted for Trump. So, but it'd be nice to see those people show that support, you know, in a mass, a huge gathering, you know, not a protest, just a gathering to show these people on the left, hey, you know what, we're here too. We got a big mob too, you know, bigger than your mob. It would be nice, because that might shut them up a little bit, scare them a little bit, you know, because, you know, when I saw some of these crowds, man, at these protests, they were big, man. I'm talking multiple thousands of people. And, you know, there's power in the people, man. There's power in the mob, because, you know, the mob rules always, man. There is a power there. When you get enough people together, shit gets done. And, you know, people on the right don't do that enough. They don't show that we're there enough, okay? People on the left do it all the time. And when I see them big crowds gather like that, and I never see anything from the right, I get a little worried, you know, that, hey, the mob rules, man, always. And that's a fact, okay? The mob rules. And these people get their mobs together, and we never do. That, you know, that can tell you something a little bit there, that we're not fighting enough. We're not showing enough. We're not together enough on the right, you know. But on the left, they're, you know, regardless if they're doing it organically or if someone's paying them, they're still doing it, okay? They're still doing it, and us on the right, we're not. And if the people that are doing it keep doing it, the mob rules, and we could lose. You know, we could lose something there. We could lose our footing. If you lose your footing, that can domino into losing a lot of other things. So, you know, I would say people on the right need to counter that. Every time they do something like that, no King's protest on the left, we need to do something on the right. But we need to come back twice as much, twice as hard, but not doing damage, okay? Not doing destructive stuff. Come back in force with twice as many people, peacefully, and that would really give them something to think about. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I was thinking about that because I kept seeing pictures and videos of all these people from the left, all these, you know, no kings people. And I'm like thinking, shit, man, they got a lot of people out. I mean, all across the country, a lot of people, dude. Like, and that makes me a little worried, actually, because, you know, there's power in people, man. When you get a lot of them together, there's definitely a force to be reckoned with there, you know. So I just kind of wanted to get that off my chest, get it out there a little bit. I'm getting ready here to get cooked today at work. It's going to be almost 100 degrees, and so I'm going to be dying. Hopefully I can make it to where I get to stay in AC most of the day, you know. Be a lot better for me. So thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. And stay tuned for whatevs. And y'all have a fantastic day, all right? And we'll check you later.